there's an old saying that says, don't just stand there, do something. And, I'm so happy to have a show today with a group of women, you know, gracious women, industrious women, women who are busy doing a lot of other things in their life, but they felt like it's necessary to do something about the improvement of the community, particularly the kind of situation that we're going through with the pandemic and COVID-19. The first thing I want to do is congratulate these women called Women in Unity, you know, for thinking it would not be robbery to get together and come together as a group of diverse and interested and professional and articulate and industrious women to say that, well, since we have all of these qualities, why don't we come together and see if we can influence and impact and motivate the community in a positive manner? So, therein began the creation of the Women in Unity. And we have with us today Miss Kathy Mcarthur, who is an attorney here in the city, been long involved in the community, not only legally, but in other areas. Reverend Wanda West, who has done, just so many phenomenal things, all the way from being a elected official to being a superintendent and being an administrator. So she has been phenomenal in the community. And bringing up the real last but not least is Mr. Lois Harman, who's a highly successful real estate guru in our community and has been for a long time. So I want to come out of the chute, because I had the opportunity to work with you ladies on the Get Out the Vote campaign, offering non-political, non-partisan free rides for anybody who wanted to vote. And I felt like that was a very, very worthwhile initiative. So I just want to congratulate you, because it seems to me that you all are operating by the principle that if it is to be, it's up to me. And that's what you all are doing as a relation, not only the prior initiative, but also the upcoming initiative, which I'll set up and let you all talk about. But first, Kathy and Lois, if you all would chime in just for a few seconds, uh, Ms. MacArthur, and talk about the creation, both you and Lois, of this organization.
Well, thank you, Alex. I appreciate all the kind words. This group grew out of a conversation I had with Lois back a year ago concerning the fact that that I felt like it actually was after the Ahmaud Arbery killing. I was so concerned about the fact that we just really didn't seem to have come very far, even though it's been so many years and we all consider ourselves not racist. I found that although I didn't have friends except Delois, particularly, that were African American, and I barely see Delois. And that when we do social things, that we don't see, we don't go to the same church, we don't go to the same parties. And I just thought, man, I got to start with myself here, and then we can see if we can branch out and figure out why we remain so divided. So I called Delois and kind of just threw it out there because I've known her for 40 years from tennis, and we've traveled together and have been good friends. And I broached it to Delois, and she can tell you her response to that. But that's where we came up with this idea of having 9 Caucasian women, 9 African American women who were busy and productive women, to see if we couldn't address community problems. But Delois, chime in and tell him your thoughts.
Yeah, my thoughts. Yeah, when you called, yeah, I was a little surprised. I had to sit there and just think for a moment. Matter of fact, I even told you, let me think about what you have presented, Kathy, and because this racial division, I've known it we've seen it differently. I know because of we different cultures, but after thinking about what you had presented about let's let's do something and come together as diverse women. I chose 9 ladies from the African American culture, and you chose your 9 women. And so, but yes, I wanted. At first, I had reservations after I had took the time to think about it, uh, because I've seen it all my life, and it was just nothing new to me. But I know that it had taken a shock. It had shocked you when you saw this happening because of social media is bringing so much to the nation, right, to the world right now of what I have known all my younger and older life. But I know it had shocked you pretty bad. So just the idea you wanted to do something about it made me say, I said, you know what? So yes, I do want to do anything I can to help bring about more unity in this community. But this group is going to go beyond this community. We're starting at home, but we're going to do things more nationwide, if not more, because I do have my plans and my team members of this group know that I am about changing laws of this nation that is going to bring about equality to all of us. And working with the diverse women of all of these intellectual women, that so many that's in law, I just felt like, this is going to be a good thing. And I think we're going to take care of home initially, and then we're going to expand. Okay, that's my thoughts on all of this.
Thank you, Ms. Harman, for those comments, and I tend to agree with you as it relates to what you said. And again, I want to just remark that it's so important that Kathy conceptualized, and not only did she conceptualize it, she decided to do something about it. Well, the purpose of the Women in Unity is to try to come up with initiatives, community initiatives that are going to make a difference, and there is one on the horizon. And we're going to let Dr. Wanda West, talk about this very, very important initiative that you all have coming up. Dr. West?
Well, thank you. With vaccine hesitancy all over the nation, and with the need to get our community all in to become vaccinated, these 2 ladies, when Dolores called me, I thought, this is exciting. But when she asked me to chair it, I thought, I have lost my mind, but this is exciting. And relevant to what we are getting ready to do, we are asking for the community to come with us all in, roll your sleeves up, and get vaccinated. We have started out with the concept that everyone has influence, so we are pulling together what we refer to as circles of influence that will go grassroots to the national capital, if you will. But we feel like there are leaders at every level. So what we're doing as a group is energizing women in unity to take a leadership role in making sure that we get a vaccine campaign out here that will cover our needs in North, South, East, and West Macon. And so we are excited. We've been meeting, we've been planning, and on June 10th at La Piata, we will do a kickoff, and we will ask neighborhood leaders to join hands with us and take this back to their neighborhoods and their homes. One thing that we do know is that in order to stop COVID, the spread of it in this neighborhood, we have to invoke solutions. We have to make sure we partnered with businesses and with our community personnel to make sure that we get the job done. Our partnership is with the Atrium Health Center, Navicent, And we're excited as Dr. Dukes and Dr. Patrice Walker and Dr. Paula Harman have taken a lead in this to bring the medical community together with our faction of Women in Unity to look at education and getting the job done.
Oh, that is so phenomenally important. And, you know, it's impressive that you put this partnership and this collaboration effort together. And so, if I understand it correctly, you know, what you're asking, invited and or uninvited, that, you know, this is a community issue and that particularly people who are influential and who have influential circles, then am I correct in saying that you all are asking them to join you in just trying to educate the community and to influence the community and try to, you know, let everybody know, educate everybody on the fact on how important the vaccine is. Is that correct?
Yes. Vaccine hesitancy is real. And so we want to our goal is to take it face on, not only have the meeting to get our influences together to expand our brevity of having influences in the neighborhood, but to set up vaccine sites in each of the areas immediately following doing our foundation piece. But we are inviting this total community to get with us. All in is our tag, roll your sleeves up, because this community is not safe unless we can stop this virus in every corner of Macon.
Oh, that's so outstanding. So, talk a little bit mechanically, Dolores, on Ms. Harman, on how this is going to operate, where it is, and then talk a little bit also about your daughter, Dr. Paula Harman, who has approached this head on, and just talk about how it's going to happen as it relates to the event at La Piata.
Yes, Paula, Dr. Harman, she will be one of the speakers on June 10th, along with Dr. Duke and uh, Dr. Duke and Dr. Walker. What it is, Paula, Dr. Harman, for many months she has a business set up right now for the COVID testing. This has been going on for numerous months here in Macon on Interstate Drive in the next to the La Piata Conference Center. She has one of the sections of that facility. And now she has been awarded the right for vaccinations. And so she wants to work with this group and also partner with Atrium Navicent for the vaccination, because she can do it now. She has been granted that authority to do the vaccinations. But she will be one of the speakers, and to let the community know how important it is that this community and other communities come together and try to defeat this pandemic.
Yeah, Councilor Mcarthur, do you have any ideas on, you know, on the hesitancy? I noticed that Dr. West mentioned vaccine hesitancy, and you know, I mean, I used to think I was smart until I talked to people who just rejected the vaccine. So, you know, I began to question my intellect and my vision and a whole lot of things when I examined, you know, the people who were behind it, the marketing, the testing, and then for that to be the degree of hesitancy that we have in our community, then I said, well, Havisham. You're not as smart as you thought you were. So could you help me out with what your thoughts are, if you would, Ms. McArthur, on what's going on with this? And then we'll talk more about why Women in Unity is doing that. But I'm just trying to get some thoughts. And then Dr. West and Ms. Harman, y'all can chime in because I think it's important. It's important that we have the capability of vaccinating, but unless we have the capability of motivating and educating, then I don't think that the capability of vaccinating will help. What are your thoughts, Catherine?
Alex, the fact of the matter is that I think the problem started when the virus was portrayed as a hoax or some type of political thing, to where a number of people in our community still haven't bought in that the virus is a big deal and it's a problem. And there are a number of people in our community who believe if they get the virus, it's not going to be a big deal. And a number of people have gotten it and it wasn't a huge big deal. So they've been willing to confront it. And I think it's been a political thing as much as it's been a racial thing. But the last numbers that I've seen, or in talking to Dr. Sandy Duke, who has spearheaded the vaccination movement for atrium navicent, the last numbers he showed us were that only about 3 weeks ago, 24% of our community is all that is vaccinated so far. And of that 24%, only 21% of the 24% are African American. So in talking to Dr. Duke about our project and what we wanted to do or how could we help, he asked us to focus on the African American or minority community. And he said it wasn't that he didn't care about the others, it was that the minority community, assuming that people did get the virus, was going to be hit the hardest, was going to die from it, was going to be in the hospital longer, was going to have a much more serious outcome. So he asked us to really focus on the minority community in this and try to up those numbers. But when I see that 10 states already have 70% of their adults vaccinated, and we're still in the 20s
Wow.
in Georgia overall, we've got a problem. And there are a lot of aspects to it. Education is a big deal. Politics is a big deal. Some of it, I just don't know, but we're going to try to overcome a lot of it with this meeting June 10th and try to get these leaders to bring their groups to these vaccination sites.
Dr. West, would you kind of address that as it relates to your thoughts on the hesitancy, and also talk about, if you would use this platform to just kind of personally reach out to the circle of influencers?
Thank you. It's been just a query for me and a quandary to hear people say things like, I'm going to wait. This won't affect me. It's not real. The Tuskegee debacle. And to see our leaders in many cases say, I have not gotten the vaccine. I'm going to wait. Well, I live from a philosophy of everything rises and falls on leadership. And this, anytime something kills 500,000 or more people, and I look in the Telegraph and online, and our people are dying like flies. And to have the opportunity to hear Dr. Dukes share the data, we've got to do something. Because if our South Macon community is infected and folk don't know it, we've got a problem. And so I feel like as educators, as mamas, as business people, our children and our families come first. The issue is not national, it's local. And so we must stop and we must acknowledge that if we want a culture that is alive, healthy, safe, and able to continue working on getting along and knowing that we are just trying to do something to embrace the needs of the communities. I was in the dollar store one day and a family was in there when COVID was at its worst. Mama, daddy, and the children. And they were not observing social distancing. And I turned around and I said, I want to share something with you all. I've had COVID in my family. Take care of your family. You will be surprised how they responded when I said I've had it in my family. A 4-year-old gave it to my brother, and he's had it twice. And he's in charge of the state ministers for the AME church. Well, my point to them, it doesn't matter whether you are from the White House, the governor's mansion, the bowels of Pleasant Hill, North, it does not matter. It does not matter your profession. We have to stop this virus in Macon.
Well, that is so outstanding. And before I let Dolores give her take on the hesitancy, uh, I had somebody, Dr. West, Kathy, and Dolores, to tell me, and I was talking about the vaccine. They said, "Well, if you since you took it, you're gonna grow a tail." I said, "Well, I'm gonna wag it." I'm gonna wag it because I sure took it, and I told him, I said, "I'm waiting on the booster." You know what I'm saying? I can't wait till the booster comes because I want no part of this disease. Dolores, you got any comments about the hesitancy and any experiences or scenarios that you have experienced that might would contribute to it, and maybe you can say something or do something based on your position and your success
Well,
to encourage people?
yes, the main reason, in my opinion, of the hesitancy of the getting the vaccine is distrust in the African American community. I'm speaking of, and in my family, so many have gotten the vaccination, but initially, and including myself, distrust. I had to wait and observe and watch others who was getting the vaccine and just see. I wanted so many. I had to just notice who else was getting it before I even let someone put it in my arm. And it's distrust historically. It's distrust. And so the education that hopefully we that's spoke up on for the community on June 10th will help. And and then with the church leaders, the clergymen in this community, and hopefully they have been vaccinated, which would help build on the trust in the community of the communities that they lead. But I just put most emphasis on distrust in the community of African Americans.
Okay, thank you very much. I wonder if Dr. West, would you kind of wrap it up and sum up the activity and encourage those people, the targeted group, to come out and join the effort?
We invite Macon to be all in with our initiative. Roll your sleeves up and get vaccinated. Most of all, every mama out there, protect your children by getting your vaccination. Encourage your teenagers to help us get this message out. Again, we will be at La Piata on June 10th at 6:30. We have invited a group of influencers, and we will extend this circle after the 10th of June. Watch for our stations from North, South, East, and West Macon, and we really ask all of the leaders of organizations like churches, sororities, fraternities, Eastern Stars, you name it. We need you to serve as a leader by example in your nucleus. We need for you to reach out and help us to help you educate Macon. We look forward to getting to know your communities. I'm from Pleasant Hill and I'm going all in. So we're asking everyone to go all in, because on the 10th, we will be asking everybody to help us protect the health and safety of our families in the Macon community, Macon-Bibb community.
Thank you so much, ladies, for this initiative. Thank you for your comments and your concern. Thank you for your volunteerism. Thank you for your desire to move to help the entire community. Thank you for dispelling all of the myth and trying to address the hesitancy. And I'm sure that I join you in advocating, for for everybody. It takes a village. And I think if all of us who have, and everybody got influence, you can influence somebody, whether it's organizationally or personally, you can, or religiously, you can, or politically, you can influence somebody. So I just really applaud what you all are doing. This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham, having interviewed the women in unity, telling all of you to get all in. And the person for this interview, Ms. Kathy Mcarthur, Dr. Wanda West, and Mr. Lois Harman. This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham. Have a great day, and you be one of the ones who are all in. Thank you.
Get ready, Central Georgia.
This is Alex Habersham, publisher of the Macon, Middle Georgia Black Pages. I'm happy to inform the community, particularly business owners, that we're working on a new edition of the Macon, Middle Georgia Black Pages and Resource Guide.
Coming soon.
So call today. You need to be a part of this.
Your resource guide to identify Black-owned businesses throughout Central Georgia.
You either get your free listen and or your ad in the upcoming edition.
We try to make it very easy through our book, electronic and digital formats, and social media. Reserve your ad space today.
Call 478-464-0074.
Visit our website at maconblackpages.com.
You cannot afford not to advertise.
Download the app.
The new Macon, Middle Georgia Black Pages and Resource Guide is on the way.
Coming soon.